Hello, mushroom lovers. We're going to show you this easy appetizer or side dish, however you want to do it. Now, in this pan, I have olive oil and butter, and the olive oil helps the butter not burn. And to that, I added 1/2 of a medium onion that I diced up, and we're going to get this started because we don't want the onion to be crunchy or raw. We want it to cook down. So we add it first because it takes longer to cook than most other things. In this dish, that is. And to that, we're going to add a little salt and pepper. You know, you got to flavor it as you go. And plus, the salt helps break down the fibrous contents of the onion. So it makes it cook a little faster. Once this goes for like 2 minutes, then we're going to add 3 cloves of chopped garlic. I try to chop it fine, some is just chopped, and that's fine. So we're going to let this go now. We'll give that a stir, and we're going to let this saute for about 1.5 to 2 minutes. You don't want the garlic to burn, because once it burns, it becomes bitter. Nobody likes bitter garlic, face it. But the garlic flavor has to heat up, and oh man, it really comes through in this dish. So stinking good. So let's jazz this up just a little bit. There's some margarine. Now what I'm going to do with margarine, I'm just putting the weeest of pinches in there. You can see I'm not putting much at all. It's not even measurable. So please don't ask me how much because it's not even measurable. Next is red pepper flakes. Give it a little kick. And you only want to do a little kick with this. I just do a few shakes of the bottle and set it aside. Now in I dump a normal sized container of sliced mushrooms. This is supposed to be called the chef's blend of mushrooms, but from what I can tell, it's portobello mushrooms and white mushrooms. Wow, really a blend. Knock yourself out, Kroger. You did a good job on that one. There might even be a sliver of a shiitake. I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, we're going to add this in, and you can see how quickly the mushrooms absorb all the liquid that was at the bottom and all that flavor. So what we're going to do is we're going to add just like under 1/4 cup of water. And all that's going to do, besides evaporate quickly, it's going to steam those mushrooms until they're cooked through all the way. You don't want to start this in the oven with raw or really tough mushrooms. And look at it, you can already see that the water is almost completely evaporated. And it got sucked up into those mushrooms, which is good. Now we're going to add some fromage. The first thing we're going to add is Parmesan, shredded Parmesan cheese. And again, there's really no measurements. It just play with it, do what you want. Even change up the cheeses if you like. The next cheese that we're putting on here is Asiago. Why? Well, because we love Asiago in this house. It has a really good flavor. It's good. Next, to get this all to melt and become good, we're going to add 1/2. Now listen, you can use regular milk if you don't have 1/2. Whole milk would be the best. And again, you saw how much I put in there. Less than 1/4 cup. And all this is going to do is it's going to make a sauce out of the cheese. And it's just going to coat those mushrooms so good and flavorful. So just stir this around and stir it around just until all that cheese melts and it becomes like one cohesive mixture of flavor bombs. Mushrooms are really good and healthy for you, and be advised this is a vegetarian dish. How about them apples? So I lightly sprayed my crock here that I'm going to cook these in. Any baking dish will do. And we're going to smooth that out. And we're going to add some more flavor. What? Yeah, for real. That's what's going to happen. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add some mozzarella cheese. I had just a little bit left and thought, let's use it up because it's a really good stringy cheese and it, you know, who doesn't like mozzarella? And then of course we'll add a little pinch of Asiago and a little pinch of Parmesan as well. Now, there is a little bit more to do here. This is just dried parsley. If you have fresh, that would of course be better, but I don't have any, so I'm using dried parsley. And I'm just flicking some on there, not much, just for color and for flavor. Now, Italian breadcrumbs. And here's where you want to really restrain yourself a little bit. A lot of times when you have something like this at a restaurant, they really overdo it with the breadcrumbs. I put on probably a tablespoon, maybe a tablespoon and a half. Then I baked it in the oven uncovered for 15 minutes at 400 degrees. And would you look and see what I pulled out? Doesn't that look good? It is chock full of flavor. Now, how do you serve this up, Jimmy Dick? Well, let me show you. We are going to scoop just a couple little tablespoons full onto this very wee saucer. And I've lightly toasted some sourdough bread that I cut into strips. And we're going to put that on there too. It's kind of a crostini. You can use any bread you like. We just happen to have sourdough in the house, so I did that. Would you just look? I hope you guys liked the video. Jimmy